In this video, you'll learn how to set up your Google Classroom step by step. I'll show you how to customize your class, prevent yourself from getting bombarded with emails, add your students, and show you how to keep parents in the loop with automated emails regarding assignments. To set up your Google Classroom, you'll click the waffle in the right-hand corner of your screen, and then you'll scroll down until you see the Google Classroom app. You'll click Google Classroom. As you can see at the top of the screen, you can also go to classroom.google.com to get there. To create a class, we'll click the plus button in the right-hand corner and then Create Class. You'll give your class a name. Mine will be Miss Avercamp's class. I'm planning to use my Google Classroom for pushing out word study activities, science, social studies, math, all the subjects that I teach. But you might be interested in a Google Classroom solely for one subject. Maybe you want to only use it for science. If that's the case, then I would add the word science to your class name. You can fill out these bottom 3 sections if you choose, and then click Create. As you can see, my Google Classroom has been created. I'm first going to change the theme of my classroom. Right now I have this violin here in the banner, but my class doesn't really have anything to do with playing the violins, unfortunately. So I'm going to go to Select Theme in the right-hand corner. Now I'll look through the gallery to find a picture for this banner. Now, if I'm just creating this class for science, then I'd probably want to pick a science picture. However, I'm going to be using my Google Classroom for all subjects in 2nd grade, so I'm going to choose this picture here. I'll click on it. After I've selected it, I'm going to click Select Class Theme at the bottom, and now you can see my picture has changed. You can also choose to upload your own photo for the banner. You can do this by clicking Upload Photo in the right-hand corner. Then select a photo from your computer. Next, you'll go into your folder where the photo has been stored. You'll double-click on it. Click and drag these white squares that are in the corner of this rectangle so that it covers the part of the picture that you want for your banner. I'm going to click and drag the left side as well. You can move this rectangle up or down so that it captures that part of the picture you like the best. And when you're done, click Select Class Theme at the bottom of this box. The next thing I want to show you are some different settings for your Google Classroom. So if you look at this wheel in the top right-hand corner and click on it, you can see that I can change my class name anytime I'd like right here. I can also change the class code that I give my students. We'll talk about this in just a few minutes. But if you've ever given your students a code and you've realized that there's L's in it and I's, and you think they might get confused if it's a 1 or an L, you can reset this code and it'll give you a new one that has letters and numbers that your students will not mix up. I'm going to exit the class settings by clicking the X on the left. Next, we'll click the main menu in the top left-hand corner, and we'll go down to this settings button at the bottom. You can use this section to change your profile picture, as well as opt out of any email notifications you do not wish to receive. Now, if you're wondering which notifications you shouldn't receive, it's completely up to you, and you may want to wait until you get your classroom set up and until you start receiving these emails to see what they really are. Then you can go back into this settings area and you can simply click the blue button for anything you wish to not receive an email notification about. Again, you can change these settings anytime, and I suggest that you wait and see, and if you realize you're getting bombarded by emails, then you can come back to this main menu section and turn these notifications off. I'm going to go back to the main menu and click on my class. Now we need to add people to our class. So the first thing I'm going to do is click People at the top of the screen. The first thing you can do is add a co-teacher to your Google Classroom. Any teacher that you want to have access to this class, they'd be able to assign materials here. You can click on this Invite Teachers button, type in their name or email address, and then click Invite. Lastly, we need to add our students to our Google Classroom. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the main page of my Google Classroom, and I'm going to look at this class code in my banner. At the end of the code, there's a box. If you click it, your code will be displayed nice and large for your students to see. In order to add themselves to the class, your students will go to classroom.google.com. They can also click on the Google Classroom icon located right on their Chromebook. And of course, they can always click the waffle and scroll down until they see Classroom to click on. Next, they'll click the plus sign in the upper right-hand corner, click Join Class, and then enter in that class code, followed by clicking Join. I'm back now in my Google Classroom as the teacher. If you look down to the Students section, you'll see that my students have started to be added. Anytime one of my students uses that class code to join the class, their name will appear underneath Students. The last thing I want to talk about in this video is how you can keep parents in the loop and connected to their child's assignments in Google Classroom. When you invite parents to Google Classroom, you're not actually inviting them to have access to the Google Classroom or to see all of your students' activities in Google Classroom. Instead, you're inviting them to receive an automated email right from Google Classroom that keeps them informed and lets them know if their child is missing any assignments and what assignments they have coming due. Parents can choose to receive these emails daily or weekly, and there are just 2 steps that you have to do as the teacher to get this all set up. If you want your parents to receive these summaries, you'll click in the upper right-hand corner of the screen on the Settings button. I'll scroll down to the General section in the middle. At the bottom of this section, it says Guardian Summaries. Now you'll notice that this setting is by default turned off. So if you want your students' guardians to receive these summaries, you have to first turn this button on. And you'll do that just by clicking right on the circle. If you have more than one Google Classroom set up, and you want these Guardian email summaries turned on in all of those Google Classrooms, you can keep this box checked and then click Add Class. If you only want the email summaries to be turned on for the classroom you're in right now, you'll want to uncheck this box. After you've made your choice, click Add Class. Then make sure to click Save in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. Now what I can do is invite those guardians. So next to each student's name, I'll click on Invite Guardians, and I'll type in one or multiple email addresses that I want to have access to those emails. After you type in the email addresses, you can just click Invite in the bottom right-hand corner. Now, you might decide that you don't want to start off with parents having access to these emails, but maybe halfway through the year you want to turn it on. You're able to invite them at any time, and again, this is just an option if you want it. Well, that is all for this video. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please rate us on TPT. And if you have any teacher friends who you think might be interested in this course, please let them know where they can find it.